First, I would like to congratulate Phoenix on a terrific game. I thought both teams played outstanding basketball, low turnovers, big plays, stars showing up on the big stage. It was truly a really high level, well played game. Hats off to our crowd. Unbelievably loud and passionate tonight. Huge reason why we had equaled the best home record in the league this year, and certainly tried to will us to the finish line. I'm really proud of our players and team from the year that we had. Strong start, handled adversity with injuries, and as we got through a rough patch in the middle of the season, put ourselves in position to have this home game with a 9-1 finish in our last 10, and was the hottest team in the league. Tonight, I thought we did a ton of really good things and put ourselves in position at halftime to be able to pull out this game. We knew coming out of halftime that they were going to be a heavy dose of Brittany Griner in the second half. They got her 3 shots in the first half. So we knew that. And they made some adjustments, and we had to change our coverage and looks on Brittany, but 34 points in the paint, a 56-point half for them, and we just couldn't disrupt them. And they played through their big three like they have been, 77 points. So they did what they needed to do in that 12-2 run to finish after we went up 3 with about 4 minutes to go. Even though we tied it again, that 8-0 run to finish, we just didn't make the plays that they made down the stretch, and you have to give them credit for that. But this core group has had a great year. They're under contract. We're going to have this majority of the team back, and we think we're building something very special. And while we thought we could win it all this year, we're going to be even hungrier as we move forward.
Questions for Coach? Rachel's got the mic. Raise your hand.
Curt, congratulations on a great season. When you're going down the stretch and you see the type of shots that Courtney is not just making but just taking, what did it say to you, and what do you think you learned about her as a kind of go-to scorer for you for this team as you're trying to define it?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best things about coaching Courtney is she has ultimate confidence and can make big plays. And we lost a couple heartbreakers this season and really struggled in maybe the last 45 seconds of the game. And the team understood, and Courtney wants the ball in big situations, and she made some huge shots again tonight, and we came up a little bit short, but one of the things we learned through the year that we can play through Courtney Williams down the stretch of games.
Questions for Coach or players?
Curt, along those lines, I mean, Courtney had 6 straight points. That 4-point play got the crowd really into a frenzy, and then it just all seemed that Phoenix got going off that also. What did they do, if anything, differently in the last 2 minutes to sort of change the momentum of the game from where you guys really seem to have it?
Yeah, we, at the 4-minute mark, or just over the 4-minute mark, we doubled the ball out of their hands, and who does it end up with? It rotates around to Stephanie Talbot, and she airballs a 3. 30 seconds later, Stephanie Talbot ends up with the ball again at 25 feet and makes it. That's a player making a play. Again, we got the ball out of Griner's hand that time, and all of a sudden, a player that had just airballed a shot turned around and made a big shot to tie it up. We had a shot blocked. We had a turnover late in an action where we can't get back. So we had a couple empty possessions, and they just were so efficient in the second half playing through Griner, Doug, that didn't matter who we were coming from, sending doubles. She was effective. She got free, but also if we did get the ball out of our hands, while we had January and Talbot 1 for 8 or 2 for 8 at one point, they both made their last big threes, and that's what you're seeing right now out of this Phoenix team during this great stretch that they're on. The big three scoring, and their role players shooting a tremendous percentage from the arc.
Questions for the players? Jazz or Courtney?
Jasmine and Courtney, been here before with this team. Again, as Coach said, came down the wire. What are you feeling right now? And what do you think this team needs to continue to work on to get over the hump?
I mean, a mix of things. Of course, disappointed from my team just because I know how bad we wanted it. I know how much we talked about it. We really made it a goal to be back in this position again, and we were accepting that challenge, and we wanted it. So disappointed, frustrated, but also extremely proud of my team. I've seen us go through so much behind the scenes, on the court. This year was special for us in many ways, and it just would have been nice to be able to advance tonight because I wanted it that bad for this group.
Question back there.
This is for Jazz too. Last season the depth wasn't there. You guys fought through a lot of injuries, missing those key players. This season the depth was there, still didn't come up. But how much hope does that give you going forward? You did it the hard way. You did it maybe what would have been a little bit of the easier way. You've been through it twice with two completely different situations. Now what do you think?
I mean, we're just competitive. I feel like each one of us individually will bring something back better next year. I think we just look at this game and we make the adjustments that we need to, whether that's, I don't know, anything. It's hard to play it through my mind right now, but I definitely believe that our team will come back stronger, and that's what I love about us. I feel like from last season to this season, we've made great strides, and we just want to keep getting better as a team. This core group has really grown since Curt first got here, so I'm proud of that.
One more question and then we'll...
Jasmine, just a question. When you look at what Phoenix is doing, a lot of what happened tonight was three players who have played together for a very long time. Curt spoke about the fact that so many of you are coming back next year under contract. How much did continuity, you think, ultimately make the difference tonight?
I mean, I think it made a big difference. I feel like for the majority of the game, we played a great game. And a lot of that was us playing off of each other, reading each other, players making big plays. And those are all things that we know each of us are capable of doing. And when any one player gets a rhythm, or any 2 or 3 players, we also play through them. So I feel like that's what they did. They played through their big three all season. And, that's credit to them. They're great players. And we knew it would be tough guarding them. But I feel like they had a difficult time with us, too.
Any more questions? Doug?
Courtney, I mean, you had an unbelievable fourth quarter, and then shots you hit to sort of put you guys in front. How frustrated are you that you guys were almost there again against them, but just fell a little bit short?
I mean, it's very frustrating, being out there playing as hard as we was playing, and to come up short again against the same team. I know it's frustrating to everyone, but just gotta take it for what it is and watch more film, like Jazz said, get better in the off season and come back a stronger team.
One last question.
Curt, you have your depth and everything at this point. Do you still think you need another piece with this team, or do you think you have what you need here? It's just a matter of experience.
All of the above. I mean, we will obviously look at ways to continue to keep getting better. If that's another piece, if it's the draft pick, obviously Bria Holmes is under contract with us and sat out the year with her pregnancy. So we know that the team won't be exactly the same, but we're really excited about the core piece. The challenge in the locker room after the game is, from coaching staff through the organization to the players, what can we do individually to all bring something back a little bit better that we can collectively grow and take that next step. Is it a skill set? Is it strength and conditioning? Is it nutrition? And the coaching staff have our own challenges and ways to get better. So, Ned, I don't know if it's one thing, but we'll be active looking in the free agent market. But our core group is coming back, and we're really proud and pleased with what we've done. It's 2 unprecedented years offensively when you start to talk about some of the statistics that we have been able to accomplish in back-to-back years offensively. The next step for us is at the other end, that we don't give up a 56-point second half.
Thank you, guys. Our locker room is still open.